Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, the bearer of bad news for Democrats everywhere. Well guys, it's not looking so good for the leftoids. In fact, I'd argue it's looking pretty dismal at this point. Again, just follow the emotional roller coaster that the leftist Twitter Hivemind is going through. The ups and downs, well, we're in a big frickin' down. Remember when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced his run for president? As an independent candidate, Democrats were cheering, rejoicing in the good news. RFK Jr. only appeals to crazy right-wing MAGA chuds, is what they said. Quote, this is gonna help Biden. I mean, the energy was at an all-time high. Well, boy, that didn't last too long, as reality is really starting to hit leftoids and hit them fast. We very quickly, in the matter of months, went from RFK Jr. is gonna help Joe Biden get elected to holy crap, RFK Jr. is about to tank Joe Biden's entire campaign. It just got real. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I've been following this story behind the scenes for a while at this point. I think it's probably time to talk about it. There's a super PAC that's currently supporting RFK Jr., helping him to gather enough signatures to get him on the ballot in the most key battleground states. Well, that super PAC has now gathered enough signatures to get RFK Jr. on the ballot in Arizona and Georgia. And if you think that's not bad enough for the Democrats, well, get this. The same super PAC just announced that they have enough signatures to get him on the ballot in Michigan. I'm calling it right here. I mean, this could be the end of Joe Biden's ability to get elected, simply because of the effect that RFK has. And I'm not just going to make that claim. Let's just delve straight into the data. Here we have 2024 hypothetical matchup data between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. It's been a really close race for the last 6 months or so. Mostly Trump's been in the lead in the aggregate by around 1 to 3%. Well, the moment we switch this data and click three-way, all of a sudden Trump's up 4.3. And that's just nationally. We could take a look at the exact same data just on a state-to-state basis. Here's the 2024 Trump versus Biden polling average in Arizona. Trump's leading by 5.5. The moment you make it a multi-candidate race, Trump's up to 7.5. Nevada, we see the same thing. He's got a 7.7 lead, and boom, it turns to 8.5. In a one-on-one in Wisconsin, Trump's leading by 1. The moment Kennedy and others join the fray, all of a sudden he's up by 4. Michigan's roughly the same, but then Pennsylvania, supposedly, Kennedy being on the ballot, flips the script entirely. Here in a two-way race, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, on the average, Biden leads by almost a point. Introduce other candidates, and Trump's up by 4. Every single state is pretty much the same. North Carolina, same thing, and Georgia, same thing, from 6.5 to 8. And now it seems like this hypothetical RFK Jr. third-party run is becoming less hypothetical and more reality, more real. It's happening, and he's going to be on the ballot, whether Democrats like it or not. As I'm recording this video, the news pretty much just hit that RFK Jr. is going to be on the ballot or has enough votes to be on the ballot in Michigan. Here's the graphic released by the super PAC aiding him. 32,462 signatures collected, only 30,000 required, meaning they reached 100% of the threshold. And already we're seeing news stories about Democrats buying ads in Michigan attempting to link him to Donald Trump. DNC launches billboards in Michigan hitting RFK Jr. over donors linked to Donald Trump. The committee is launching 4 billboards in Grand Rapids as Kennedy kickstarts his tour of the Great Lakes State, a battleground in the 2024 contest, scrutinizing the independent challenger over his outside group, getting a $15 million boost from Tim Mellon, a transportation executive. The billboard features a headshot of Kennedy on the left side and Trump on the other. In the middle, the sign reads, RFK Jr., powered by MAGA Trump. Same biggest donor, Timothy Mellon. Quote, RFK Jr. isn't fooling anyone, DNC Rapid Response Director Alex Floyd told The Hill in a statement. He's powered and bankrolled by the same extreme MAGA donor as Donald Trump, and Trump's allies have already called him a useful chaos agent in this election. I don't know if I'd call him a useful chaos agent, more like a guardian angel sent from above to stand like a brick wall in the way of fascism and socialism. I think that's what conservative-minded people are really celebrating. And all this extreme language that we're seeing from Democrats is, of course, nothing but clear desperation. I mean, we know from experience, the bigger the Democrat tantrum, the higher the panic levels. I mean, the leftist hacks at MSNBC were panicking 2 months ago when they first learned of this phenomenon, and back then Joe Biden was actually overperforming.
New 2024 polling shows a neck-and-neck race between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. According to the latest numbers from Reuters and Ipsos, Trump leads Biden by 2 points, 38% to 36% among all adults. That is within the poll's margin of error. Reuters adds, quote, in the 7 states where the election was closest in 2020, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, and Michigan, Biden had a 4-point lead among Americans who said they were sure to vote. But when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is on the ballot, Trump's lead over Biden expands to 5 points, 36% to 31%, while Kennedy nets 16% of the vote. Reuters also notes that when RFK Jr. is an option, Trump takes a 5-point lead over Biden in the 7 swing states previously mentioned.
Reverend Al, a lot of moving parts there, but some good news for Joe Biden, but some real challenges ahead.
I mean, the look on their faces, a look of absolute dread and despair. Now imagine if they realize the numbers are as bad as what I presented initially on a state-by-state basis earlier in the video. Donald Trump's leading nationally. If RFK Jr. is in the mix, he leads nationally even more. And then in every important battleground state, Trump again leads in all swing states, except for Pennsylvania, which is a statistical tie. But then immediately as RFK Jr. is presented on the ballot, Trump hypothetically wins by huge margins everywhere. RFK is on the ballot where it matters. Democrats are already panicking, releasing ridiculous billboards, and also trying very hard to stop him from getting on the ballot in the first place. But he's getting there whether they like it or not. I even read some reports that the RFK team is considering possibly teaming up with the Libertarian Party if they have to get above that signature threshold and get on the ballot where it matters. So this thing's happening whether they like it or not. I don't think RFK Jr. is willing to play ball with the Democrats. He seems totally unwilling to step aside. Here's Mr. Kennedy saying outright, quote, "We're going to be able to get on the ballot in all 50 states.
It's official. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will be on the 2024 presidential ballot. Earlier today, the now independent candidate qualified by gaining the required number of signatures in Utah, the first state his team applied to and the first to confirm that he's eligible.
We're going to be able to get on the ballot in 50 states and the District of Columbia.
I mean, he's so dead set on this goal that at one point he announced he was creating a new political party just so he could get on the ballot in California.
Robert Kennedy Jr. announced he's creating a new political party to get on the ballot for his White House run.
Steve Large joining us now with the work ahead for Kennedy to get on the ballot here in California, though, Steve.
Yeah, and no question, obviously, Kennedy's name, part of American history. Now, Robert Kennedy Jr. wants to change America's future, not only for running for president, but also creating this new political party.
Robert Kennedy Jr. is seeking to crash party politics across the U.S. and here in California, filing paperwork to qualify a new party called We the People in hopes of gaining the party's nomination for president on the November ballot.
Maybe at this point he's got a vendetta against the DNC for pushing him out of the process the way that they did, or maybe he really believes that he could do this thing, so he's going all in. I don't know what the thought process is, but RFK Jr. is pushing forward 100%. But of course we'll have to see. That's pretty much the update. It's been going on for the last couple of months, but now I certainly think there's enough to talk about. RFK is likely on the ballot in Arizona, Georgia, and probably even Michigan. Huge news. I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.